Hello, everyone. Welcome to Taste Different Gaming Appetizers. And what are we talking about this time? Sega has canceled development of its Super game as it pivots away from live service games. So you may have seen our video. You may have seen our video a while back, and we talked about Sega's Super game, and it was in development and stuff like that. And one of our older videos, we talked about it. Anywho, now it's canceled. So yeah, that's it. In the latest financial results, Sega quietly confirmed the cancellation of Super Game in a slide detailing the review of its live service efforts due to the weak performance of Sonic Rumble Party. I don't remember that game. And its disappointing 2023 acquisition of Angry Birds creator Rovio? Rovio? I don't know how I say it. Which has seen its sales decline significantly. Angry Birds was cool back in the day, but I don't think it's, it's kind of like, what is it? King, who's made like the Super Candy game or whatever. Like, how many people still play that? I mean, probably a lot, but King made that game and got popular, and Rovio, whatever, made Angry Birds and it got popular, but like, have they made anything else? And if they have, it definitely hasn't gotten to the popularity that other games have. At least I don't think so. But again, I don't really play mobile games, so I'm probably the worst person to ask. Anywho, Sega said it is lowering the priority of its free-to-play games in the immediate future. Over 100 developers who were working on free-to-play titles have already been transferred to full game development teams, focusing on mainstay IPs, according to the company. Planned revivals of classic franchises such as Crazy Taxi, Jet Set Radio, Golden Axe, and Streets of Rage remain in production, which is awesome. I like all those games. Announced in May of 2021, Sega claimed its Super Game project would span multiple AAA titles that cross over Sega's comprehensive range of technologies and go beyond the traditional framework of games. In November of 2021, Sega said it would consider investing up to 1 billion yen. That's, at that time, 882 million. Doll hairs over 5 years to achieve its Super Game ambitions. The company's co-chief operating officer Sunji Yatsumi provided an update on Super Game in late 2023. As the name implies, a super game involves the concept of a game that stands head and shoulders above normal games, he said. I encourage stakeholders to look forward to the fruits of our efforts, which include R&D to create a game that builds a whole world view involving the entire gaming ecosystem, including not only players, but also streamers who stream the game and their viewers. That sounds horrible. Sega pivots away from the live service games comes amid a volatile market for blockbuster games as a service titles, which have seen noticeable high-profile flops in recent months as the majority of players remain entrenched in the biggest forever games like Fortnite and Roblox, and development costs balloon. Notably, the Games Awards' big end-of-show announcement of Highguard announced its closure weeks after launch earlier this year, while Amazon shut down multiple online games. Sega experienced its own high-profile live service game failure with Creative Assembly's Hyenas, which was canceled in 2023 after years of development and triggered a review of Sega's European operations. So, hopefully, that's good that the Super Game's dead. And the development team is transferred to something else. And hopefully more studios. We talked about live service games and stuff like that. And I think hopefully, again, it's one of those things that we've talked about several times. You're flooding the zone with these live service games as a service games, and people just don't have time for them. right? They're already invested in the last one you released or the last big one like Fortnite or Roblox or, Call of Duty Warzone or whatever. And so it's really hard to pull people away from those games, the games they have investments in, to your game, right? You really need to be a step above. Basically, like the next live service game has to be better than the last live service game, right? In order to pull people away from the current live service game to bring them into the new one, right? Or do something completely, totally different that just pulls people away from their current, whatever they're playing now, to what you're offering. And as the market gets flooded with all these live service and games as a service games, it's really hard to pull people in those directions, right? There's a lot of gotcha games coming out, right? And I mean, those are mobile games mostly. I mean, they have a PC component, but like, how many of those can you put out there that people are going to play, right? You're going to probably see that too, where most people are going to stick with like Genshin Impact and Wuthering Waves and Zenless Zone Zero Zip Haven, and some of these others, but like a lot of these new ones are going to have a hard time. I feel like possibly, I don't know, getting players, right? We have a Neverness to Everness, I think was the new one in TE. And then we have another one coming out. It's kind of like Grand Theft Auto-ish style anime inspired. But they say that one's not supposed to have a gotcha mechanic. We'll see. But yeah, I mean, you can only people only have so much time. You can only pull people away for a certain amount of time before they decide that they're going to, not necessarily that they're not going to decide it, but they just don't have time for your game, right? They just don't have time to invest in something new. So I'm hoping that a lot more companies move away from live service, move away from games as service games, and get back to those single player or just core multiplayer, like with your buddies, co-op type thing. I mean, live service, multiplayer games, like big multiplayer games and stuff like that. And of course, they have their place, but that can't be the end all be all for every game that comes out, right? You can't monetize the shit out of every game. You can't throw live service crap into every single game. Just every game can't, the people's attention span can't last long enough for that. So you've got to refocus, right? If you want to make one of those, you can, but you're going to spend a lot of money, and more than likely, kind of like Hyenas did for Sega, it went nowhere. Just like High Guard went nowhere. Just like Concord went nowhere, right? Again, it's a tough market for those types of games. It really is. And even though there are still some sitting around, we talked about like the first Descendant. Yeah. And how that game's struggling, right? And again, it's just one of those things where it's like these games are out there, but people just don't have time to invest everything into that. And if you have a game like the first Descendant, but then something else comes along that does what the first Descendant does, but better, people might or potentially will leave the first Descendant to go play that, right? Instead, because it does what the first Descendant does, it just does it better, right? So, again, it's a very tough, I feel like it's a very tough market to get into and to keep retain that player base. So I don't know. But I'm glad for Sega. Like I'm really looking forward. I mean, I think during Summer's Game Fest last year, they showed, I don't remember if it was during that or during something else, but they showed off like a whole bunch of their older franchises that they're bringing back. The last Streets of Rage is a great game. If you've never played it, it's been out for quite a while, but the last one, Streets of Rage 5 or whatever it was a great game. Great fighting, battle brawler game. Me and Pat played co-op through the entire thing one night. it was a one night thing, but we played it from start to finish, and it was fun. It was really fun. So more of that. Bring Golden Axe back. Have a 3-player co-op. Because the old Golden Axe, you could play 3 players, right? The axe, the dwarf, and the Amazon, and the barbarian. Altered Beast, that would be cool. I mean, they did remake Altered Beast a long time ago, but I mean like a proper Altered Beast remake. You know what I'm saying? Like proper. Shinobi, which I think, the new Shinobi just came out not too long ago, and I think it's I have it. I don't have it, but I have it in my wish list. I wish listed it, and I will pick it up at some point because I do want to play it. I do like Shinobi and Jet Set Radio and Crazy Taxi. Sega's got a lot of Echo the Dolphin, right? They can make a new one of those. I love Echo. They have a lot of great franchises under their belt. Besides Sonic. Come on, Sega. I do want to play the last Sonic racing game though, because I heard it was really good. And the kart racing Sonic one, but Sonic Frontiers was fun. I liked Sonic Frontiers. I have that game. I didn't beat it, but I enjoyed it. Like, I thought it was pretty cool. But still though, I mean, like, you have a lot of great franchises, Sega. Like, start making games off of those, right? You own a lot of cool IPs. So get rid of your super game, which you did, and let's focus on what matters. The games that matter the most. The non-live service games. Anywho, let me know down in the comments below, what's your favorite Sega game? And what game from Sega is your bread and butter? What game from Sega do you spread on your toast? Let me know down in the comments below. Other than that, thanks for watching, everybody. Make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, hit the bell notifications to stay up to date with new videos that we do all the time. We'll see you next time.